you see how
we live now, guys.
Guys, listen. Right. Welcome back to the podcast, guys. Roundtable podcast. Listen, we love to have you. We definitely appreciate you. You are somebody. Yes. I don't know if you ever even heard that in your life or whatever, but you are somebody, and you somebody to me, especially. Guys, listen, we would love for you to comment, to like this page. Guys, we're getting into more of our relationship hour and talking about this different situation that I know everybody probably would know, who even in the basketball world or whatever. Maybe you don't know, you're going to know now. So, guys, but, I know it takes time for people to come on to engage us. But this is what I think we should do. We should wait just a little longer before we play the video to make sure people are coming in. Guys, we have on, I'm going to go down the line. We have Lovely T, we have Lady B, we have RW3, and we have yours truly, Antonio. Guys, listen, we are humble. We're humbled to be in your presence. We appreciate you. Shout out to you. Shout out to our local listeners. Shout out to our listeners who's not going to be with us. They're going to come in and go out. Shout out to you as well. But we will love you to make this place your home every Sunday at 4:30. Guys, love to have you to come and share with us what it is you're going through, as well as what we're talking about for that day. So, we're going to go into the actual video. And then we'll come in and talk about first
what we'll be discussing.
Let me first kind of narrate it, and then we'll go into the video.
So in this episode, we will be discussing the former NBA player Stephen Jackson tells the story of why he canceled his wedding at the altar. He kept asking his fiancée to sign the prenup before the wedding, and she kept saying that she would do it up until the wedding day. They both agreed upon the prenup way ahead of time. He loved her. He wanted to marry her. She still had not signed it yet. Even on the wedding day, he kept asking her every day, all the way up until the wedding day, and if she signed it yet. Some people tried to convince her to sign it, and she kept saying she was signing. She wanted to use a pastor that she did not know that her friend referred her to. He wanted to use his childhood pastor. They argue about this. Basically, every day they argued about this. They argue and come to find out that the pastor did not believe in prenups. He tried to convince Stephen at the altar that the prenup was not a good idea. So this is about it. Hey, things went crazy from there. So we're gonna get into this.
Well, let's go into the video.
Yeah.
Who's clicking it? Okay, go ahead, engineer.
Smoke Podcast tells a story about leaving his ex-fiance at the altar on the day of their wedding. So he's talking about everything that happened, and it has to do with prenups. Now, just to put it into perspective, he wanted to actually have his pastor do the wedding, but she wanted to have the one that she chose. And he had been trying to get her to sign this prenup. She kept saying she would. She kept putting it off. And then here's what happened.
My nanny come back in there with a spook look on her face like she still ain't signed it. I'm like, well, I ain't getting married then. She was like, ho. And so look, so the preacher says, hold on. Don't make a drastic decision. I think you should just let God handle it. Me, as a pastor, I don't believe in prenups. Nah, I know why she was fighting for you. You don't believe in prenups. I ain't getting married. As that's going on, Steph Marbury grows crazy. Hell nah. Mike Bibby walks, are you serious, Steve? Out of here. So, wedding off.
Wow. First of all, salute.
Wow. Now, guys, what do you think about that just happened?
I think there's a couple of things going on. I'll be brief since we are opening up here. I think beyond the not signing of the prenup, I think the way that she went about it made it as heightened as it happened, because she should have just been honest and upfront if she didn't want to sign it or if she was torn. But to say all along the way, I'm going to sign it up until the day of the wedding, I think was really selfish on her part.
Wow.
Well, also, though, he's culpable because from what I understand, he spent $400,000, about $400,000, almost $500,000. So, but he did say that I loved her and I trusted her and I believed that she will ultimately sign it. So he invested all that money into the wedding without her signing it. Then on that day, and I guess this is a sidebar. Even after that, he was at the hotel with his boys. A couple of her girls called. They hung out with him, and he ended up sleeping with one of her girlfriends from the wedding party that night too.
So he was okay. So for me, I'm gonna be honest. I believe that he was bold. I believe that she was scared, but I don't think she had bad intentions.
But some people said she was a gold digger.
Well, I'll say this. I don't see the indications that she was a gold digger, but I do see some indication that maybe she was against the prenup. Obviously, she was against it. And she didn't know how to let him know because she probably didn't want to lose him as being who he is, the money that he had. But I believe that he was dead wrong. And to the fact that you will go.
He was dead wrong about what?
He was there, his intentions. Okay, so this is my thing, right? I couldn't really sum it up until RW3 said what he said. And that nailed it. Nailed the hammer and whatever in the coffin. The nail
in the coffin
was when RW3 said that he slept with her friend.
But he was hurt. He was hurt.
Listen. You supposed to be still in love. So my thing. What the hell?
Come on, y'all know. Men will say in a minute they can have sex with a woman and they got nothing to do with it.
But what I'm saying is why would you intentionally have sex? Because that's an intentional thing.
He was hurt.
But no, what the hurt got to do with you sleeping with this girl's best friend or friend, knowing it's gonna get back to her?
Because he wanted her to be hurt, just because hurt people hurt people. And he wanted her to be hurt as much as she hurted him because he held out to the very last minute. He played the money. He held out to the very last minute, hoping that she would comply.
So what part would now? Let me ask you this. Okay, so why would you be hurt? She ain't left you. She didn't say that I wouldn't marry you. She just said, I don't, in my terminology, she didn't say that. I don't feel that I should sign a prenup. And this is another thing that men get caught up in. They never understand what the woman's religion is, to understand what that's mean. Now, to her, just like the pastor said, which I'm gonna go on record and say I believe the same way. As a Christian, him being a Christian pastor, I wouldn't believe that you should sign a prenup if you love this person and in your mindset you don't plan on divorcing this person.
Okay. You know the Tamara from Sister. I just looked at her video. She said she signed a prenup with her husband Adam. He owned a wine vinery. He owns a wine vinery. It was their parents' decision that they signed a prenup. And she said she signed it because she said she didn't care about none of his wealth. Now that she just loved him and wanted to be with him.
But why
Whoopi Goldberg said the same thing.
Why he couldn't feel the same way to say, you know what, it's not about a prenup. Listen, but now, okay, so this is what I would do.
Because she had her own money and he had his own money.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's a good point. But this is what I would have done, me personally. Depending on the money that I have, right? I would tell the person, listen, I don't, we getting married, maybe we'll spend some time together 2 years before we even say I do so I can figure you out because of the money that I'm bringing into this relationship. Now, this is what I would say. If the contract would state, if you can hold out in this relationship for 5 years, the prenup will go out. It won't be a prenup anymore. Or it would be vice versa. No, that's what I was saying. 5 years. If I was to play the prenup game, because on record, I don't believe in the prenup. I think that if you come in a relationship, we both coming in with what we have, and whatever happens, because that's the chance we took because we gamble in life, right? Okay, so. But if I were to do a prenup, I would do it under the contingency of a 5-year agreement. that, listen, if we can stay in our relationship for 5 years, then it will come out of the prenup. Now, let me tell you why. And or it will be a set price that you can get because we're married. Maybe they may be $2 million, depending on the money that I have. That you better believe that contract will be in place. So let me say it on record. It would either be after 5 years, come out of the prenup, or you are entitled to $2 million set apart if we get a divorce. I would make sure that those things would be in terms where it's written up, but I don't believe that's necessary.
Hold on, Tom. Hold on. So let's okay. Oh, what's up, Charles Bankston? Charles Bankston said, "What's up?" And that's a good question, Charles. I was about to say that the prenup. When you look at what he said they both sat down together, and agreed on the terms of the prenup. They agreed.
That's
and
right.
Then she said, and they had a lawyer to draw it up based on what they agreed upon. Mm-hmm. So she agreed and said, I'm going to sign it. I'm going to sign it. I'm going to sign it. And then, like Lady B said about the pastor, he had a pastor that he had since he was a little boy. She didn't even have a pastor. The pastor that she brought in to officiate the wedding was somebody her girlfriend recommended that she didn't even know.
But he was a pastor, though.
Right. Well, I'm saying she didn't have any spiritual or historical connection to this individual besides, I'm assuming, his belief system. So my thing is her agreeing, and then on the day of the wedding, still refusing to sign and still expecting him to get married was nonsense.
That was nonsense.
And me looking into what she did. Now, let's look at what just happened and let's analyze it. Okay, so we assume that this former basketball player at least have a couple of dollars if he wanted to sign the prenup. He had to have something, you know what I mean? That he don't want to.
Right.
So we can agree with that. Okay, now the second thing is that we can kind of agree. I'm kind of riding on the fence that we love one another.
Right.
we kind of on the fence on that, but that we love one another. Okay, I get that. Okay, so I believe that this woman actually, I can't claim it for a fact, but I will want to believe that she genuinely loves him and she wants to be with him. And, and I can say this. Okay, so now I do believe that there was some fear involved where she was telling him what he wanted to hear. And after it went on and on, maybe somebody got into her ear. I don't know. But he chose to say, wait a minute, if you really love me, I don't think a prenup should be in this situation. It shouldn't be the determining factor if we get married or not.
But she didn't do that.
We agree with that. I'm totally in agreement with you, but I'm saying to save face. I'm trying to get into her mind to see why would she just change automatically? Did she already have these motives? These input, what was it?
Well, why he had to keep on asking her every single day? Because I was looking at it. He kept on coming to her every day. Did you sign it yet? She was like, yeah, I'm going to sign it every other day. Did you sign it yet? I'm going to get to it.
But think about it. Why would that be a reason that you don't marry me and you constantly pressure me, asking me to sign an agreement because of your wealth? But you're supposed to be marrying me. Regardless of that, I think that now I'm not sure about prenups, but maybe somebody can educate me. Maybe, guys, if you out here, maybe you can make a comment and let me know, because I definitely don't understand this. Now, what I want to say is, can a person marry someone, even though they signed a prenup, that they still entitled to, whether it be, what is that where women get or men get? Spousal support or something like that, or child support,
alimony.
Aren't they still, can't they still receive those benefits from being married? Can that still
From what I understand, the prenup deals with what was accumulated prior to those two connecting. Now, then when they get married, the argument is collectively we are part of building from that point forward. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I think the prenup piece is about. You cannot have access. Like if I'm worth $1 billion when I meet you, then we're together, then my net worth increases by $1 million. You can't get none of that $1 billion, but maybe you get half of that $1 million.
Well, based on what some of the links that Lady B sent us, I was looking at a couple of them, and they were saying like a prenup is in the event that you dissolve the marriage or you divorce, and or if someone dies. So like I think it was Whoopi Goldberg, like somebody was saying like, so even if like in the matter of death, if you don't have those things spelled out, your family could be like, oh, well, that's mine, and claim stuff. And it's like, no, it's not, because it's mine. We already talked about it. So to me, it's like you're taking the time out to say, okay, God forbid, we don't want this to happen, death or divorce. But in the event that it does, let's just think this through a little bit and talk about how we would want to split this up.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been conditions, like, again, in one of the links that was sent, it talked about, the celebrity couples, the ones with some serious money, how the women most often had clauses in there that, if you divorce, I get this much, but if you cheat, I'm going to get this much. And so you can put certain conditions in there, but it talked about the court having the right to kind of like not approve stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Like somebody put in there, I don't have to pay you if you gain 30 pounds. Like the court wouldn't approve stupid stuff like that, but you can put conditions in the prenup.
So when I want to have sex, what would be the reason that I would have sex with this girl's friend or somebody that she know? What would be the reason, unless she trying to get on that? What would be the reason? You know what I mean?
There's no, well, Lady Lovely T said he was hurt. Hurt people.
No, but listen, this is what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
it said, and I'm sorry to jump in, but I'll say this and shut up. It in the podcast, if you watch the podcast, he said he was in tears. He was broke down, snot-faced, in tears, hurt. And it was like his boy's mother or somebody that came in and literally took her bare hand and wiped the snot from his face and the tears from his face and said, today you became a man. And even in that interview, you could tell he was about to tear up right then. So it was like, I guess the genuineness of his storytelling is what got me to believe him, to believe that, that he was truly, truly hurt.
Well, what was he hurt about? What was he hurt? I'm genuinely trying to find the reason why he was hurt.
Well, I guess, Tone, like, I'm trying to put myself in his position and not my position. So my thing is, you're hurt. He's hurt because you knew for years this is part of a condition of our marriage. And we agreed in our engagement that we agreed this is good for us in preparation for marriage, and we cannot get married without this. So in his mind, you don't want to marry me. You don't want to marry me because you didn't sign it. That hurts me that you don't love me enough to marry me, because the prenup is a condition of the marriage. If you're not signing it, that means you don't want to marry me no more. So that hurts me.
But now let me ask you this. So can you say that you're caught up in materialistic motives? You're not really in love with this person. Think about it. How can you say that you genuinely love me and your wealth comes before our love? Because what you're telling me is that I will marry you, but only on conditions. This is a conditional love. And this love is only based on my finances. Listen, I love you, but I don't love you more than I love my money. And I don't want my money with you because what I've worked for, and you didn't be a part of this. So in my eyesight, I would say that, can you be that selfish that you can say that your money is more important than who I am as the person that you say that you want to spend the rest of your life with me.
But if you think about
it, Tom, she was okay with it. That's the point.
Yeah,
you're saying what you're
well,
saying.
it don't seem like it. It don't seem like.
So my point is, then,
if
she wasn't okay with it,
if she was okay with it, why it take her that long?
But that's what I'm saying. So my point is this, then. So let's take the opposite point. So Lovely T can jump in. If so, based on Tone's perspective, if she's saying that, well, I need to go be with somebody else then, because I'm not gonna sign this. I don't. A man that thinks my love for him, his love for me is conditioned upon his wealth. I don't want him. So she can say, I'm not gonna sign it, and what about her business 3 years ago?
Right.
Go back and say
and then too,
you go back to say the same thing. He could say that I asked. Now listen. Let's switch the script. If it was me that went to her and I was strongly adamant about making sure that you sign this prenup, we wouldn't have got married that day. I would have put my foot down and I would have made it clear. Listen, I went to you. This is very important to me. I went to you. You haven't done it. So we got to put this on pause so that we can go back to the drawing board and figure out what's going on, because you are reneging on what we was to do. Why would I wait till the last minute on his part? Because he was more adamant about it.
Okay, hold on. Because he was talking with the nanny. Right. And the nanny kept reassuring him not to worry. She kept saying, I'll talk to her. Don't worry about it. The day of the wedding, he talks about how she came in the day of the wedding and he asked about the prenup and she was like, don't worry about it. I just get ready. Just do it. So he was
on her fault. That was his fault. That was his fault. He listen, all I'm saying is that the basketball was in his hands. He pretty much, by him being who he is, the wealth that he have, pretty much, it's sad to say, control what happens. Now, he could have easily went to her and said, we're not getting married tomorrow unless you come over and sign it today, based on what we made in terms of what we made. Now, I'm not going to wait till the day that all of these people show up before I walk down the line. Now, how can you say you heard?
But doesn't that speak to the love that he has for her? That he would wait till the very last minute to give her an opportunity to meet his condition?
But the windows were open. Listen, all I'm saying is, why would you wait that long?
Because he loved her. Because he really wanted this to happen.
Listen, I don't believe that for a minute, only because you are your own man and you are responsible for how this thing goes just as well as she is. And you hold the ball in your court. So you could have told her, you could have made that demand. Hey, listen, Alicia, Serena, I need you to get over here tonight because I don't know if there's going to be a wedding tomorrow. And I'm going to be honest, me as a man, I would be offended. I would have been offended.
We got a question, guys.
Hold on, but I would have been offended, me as being a man, that you're not listening to what I'm saying of something of that importance. So to me, I'm telling you now, it's already going downhill, because there could be other things that have come up that you don't take what I'm saying at face value. So me as a man, why in the hell would I turn around and sleep with this woman's best friend? Don't tell me hurt. Because hurt begets hurt, because I don't see a reason why you're hurt as it is. You just mad that she wants some of your money if y'all wasn't divorced. That's what I see. She wants some of your money if y'all get a divorce, and you so selfish that you can't look at that and say, listen, this is going to be my wife. We're going to roll the dice because if I love her. And hey, but now if I don't know. It just.
Well, see, if I could just, the original point that I wanted to make was that you have to kind of put yourself in his shoes too. He's a basketball player. He's making a whole lot of money. He got a whole bunch of groupies. I mean, come on. Even if the woman he was about to marry, bridesmaids who she put up and was about to be standing by her when this woman said I do, end up sleeping with the man. Come on. He know that so maybe for him, this non-negotiable condition of their relationship or the rest of their life together, maybe that would have eased any doubts or fears for him that this woman was only with him for his money. Because he know he got all of these people that could be potentially coming at him for his money.
Easily go both ways. It can, for me, all I'm saying is, as me being the man, not her, and this being my money, I'm going to be more responsible to the commitment that we first made at the beginning to make sure you honor your agreement, or we're not getting it. It's not going to be tomorrow.
And that's what happened.
Hold on, wait a minute. No, it didn't happen. I'm talking about you going to come over the day before, not the day of. You're going to come over the day before, or you're going to do it weeks before, because I'm not sending out all of these payables, all of these different vendors to come in this venue if you're not taking care of your. So I believe that he dropped the ball. I believe that he dropped the ball. He took her for granted. I believe he thought she was going to actually sign it, so he took her for granted, even though she said she would. But I think the signs were already there when she wasn't signing it. Listen, probably 2 weeks or 3 weeks or before I send out thousands of dollars on these different venues, we going to sign that contract first. If I really believe that way, or guess what? We're not. I'll make it clear. We're not getting married.
Let me ask you a question. How can we get somebody that's connected that's not on Facebook?
Yeah, that was the question.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Charles Banks and he got somebody in Florida who wants to join the conversation. However,
unless he Chuck should know this. I know who he is. That's Chuck. That's my friend. Chuck, you already know that they have to be connected to Facebook, or they can't get in there unless you send them the link and they have the Facebook page. Other than that, they won't be able to get in. They have to be a part of Facebook to be able to get in. Yeah, I wish they could. Sorry about that, but yeah, maybe we'll see. Just tell them to sign up to Facebook, or they can type in whatever link is.
Yes,
the link. Yeah. But okay, so let me ask you guys this: What does now? Okay, so this is what I was thinking, because you don't like to step out the box. I don't like to play it easy. He was already a cheater, and I believe that he was going to cheat on her in their marriage. I believe that this is the kind of guy he is. I believe he took the habits of most basketball players, allegedly, that sleep around on their wives. And that indication was you were too weak that you would fall and sleep with this girl's best friend. What would you do if we get married if you was to do something else? You gonna go cheat and go sleep with somebody because you ain't man enough to say, hey, listen, I can take this like a man. I got the money. There's plenty of women in the city. Why I'm gonna go sleep with your best friend if I'm not intentionally, purposely trying to hurt you?
Oh, he was intentionally trying to purposely hurt her.
I believe he's a cheater. I believe he was going to cheat on her, and I believe that he's been cheating on her because that was too easy of a move. Listen, I don't care how hurt you is in your manhood. You mean to tell me you're going to go sleep with this chick to cause more aggravation, and you so-called loved her from the beginning? You didn't know this.
Now you're questioning, but I think that's a little bit different, because I agree with you. Okay, I agree with you, but you got to assess like his emotional maturity. That's why I think, going back to his own, story, his own account of what happened when the woman came in and said, you became a man today. Okay, she could have said anything in the world, but she said, you became a man today. Because it was a demonstration of him standing his ground. Like you have been saying, as a man, what you should do, stand your ground, be firm and don't waffle. And in the hardest moment ever, in front of everybody, after you spent all this money, despite all that, you stood your ground. And therefore, you became a man today, which also indicates, or one could assume or deduce, that perhaps he's not so emotionally mature, and so this was an account where he did show some maturity. But then after that, he went right back to his ways.
Peter, I believe that this guy, first of all, I don't know what her motives are, because the only thing I hear in this that she didn't sign it. Now, there's a lot of leverage to why I didn't sign it. It could have been I didn't want to lose you. I thought that I can still keep you. I can go down the road to that. I was afraid to say no, but I tried to show it that I was pulling back. I could come up with a lot of different reasons why she didn't do it. But for him to sit there and he hold the ball in his court, he could have put his foot down months ago or weeks ago, and then to the degree that you so easily slept with this woman as though you didn't have it in you already. I see more on his side as being it's his fault than I do more so as it being her fault. And it seems like the relationship would have probably been toxic if we were to go on it. I see toxic examples already, signs already that maybe because you just punked out. You punked out because I didn't sign on the dotted line. So you go sleep with this woman's best friend. You punked out big time. And I believe it's more on you to be the mature one to say, hey, listen, let's talk about this. Maybe it's something that I need to see in this that I'm not seeing because I'm being selfish, because I'm so blinded by my money than my love. I'm so blinded by this, I can't see what you're saying. So let's digress. Let's put this thing off, or we should have never did it, so we can go into a deeper conversation to say, okay, now I need you to tell me what's going on. And maybe I can come to an agreement with you. Maybe she ain't had no money, and this was her way out. Come on, look at these women, black women. Look at this. How in the world, I don't know why they both out, but how in the world that, you already know that this could be a come up for you. Let's keep it 100. I don't have that much money. You rocking with all these millions of dollars. So many women, as it is, because they just want to be in a relationship, they do whatever the man tells them to do. Because they think in a relationship have money. So I get that. I understand that. But she seemed to me a woman that put her foot down. Maybe she didn't say it verbally, but she showed it through her actions to say, yeah, I felt that before, but I don't feel this way. I still love you, because I don't know how to tell you that I'm not signing. Maybe I still believe she did the right thing. Listen, so be it, because you want to run this relationship and tell me that I'm only good enough to you if you sign this agreement. That's not love.
So like Tamara said from Sister, she said that she had her own money and he had his own money. And so they came in like, she said, I love you. I don't care about, I got my own money. You got your own money. I don't want your money. You don't want my money. I love you. So maybe she didn't have her stuff together. Maybe she, maybe he was the one with like all the money and she didn't have her stuff together.
And I think you're talking. Go ahead, Lady B.
What y'all think about that?
Well, I think that we're talking about two people who, who on the outside looking in appear to be emotionally immature. Because Tom, I think you could distribute the fault evenly. I mean, and I'm usually always, pro woman, but I just feel like her actions, whether it was out of fear or not, were misleading. Because at any point she could have expressed her difficulty in signing the prenups to at least allow for some level of conversation, or maybe, what about the prenup are you unsure about? But with her constantly saying, I'm going to sign it, I'm going to sign it, I'm going to sign it, it just kind of put him in like, okay, well, when? Okay, well, when?
We got some comments too, guys. We got a comment. We got a comment. Jocelyn says she should bless God that even though she was left at the altar, God made a way of an escape for her. The Lord knew what was to become of that marriage.
Yeah. Both of them were emotionally immature. So, I mean, and that is right. You never know what God is saving you from. And that's on both ends. You know what I'm saying? Because if it was meant to happen, it would have happened.
I don't believe so on his end, though. I just believe that he could have made it right more so than she could. Because he more so had all the power in his hand. But this is the thing. I just can't get around the fact that you will go sleep with her best friend if her best friend has some ill will and she could have been putting things in her mind too because she wanted her for herself. So she laid down these ground rules knowing that joker knows she gonna sign the prenup because she ain't tripping on the money long as she get a piece of the dollar. You get what I mean? So I think that the girlfriend, why all of a sudden you will be around to sleep with this guy and you spoke. Now look, what kind of nasty trick is you? The fact that you want to sleep with this your friend's fiance. He's still a fiance. You a nasty freak. Why would you want to do that and ruin your relationship with your so-called best friend? Why is even sex on your mind to this guy if this supposed to be your best friend? Where's the loyalty in that area? She was no good, and he was no good for doing it. I believe that she was right. I don't believe necessarily that she was what you might say wrong for not signing the prenup. I don't believe she was wrong. I don't even believe that's what the definition of being wrong is. I believe that she seen something, and she seen something that I believe that he thought that she probably didn't want to make some bad decisions down the line. And maybe it took to the last minute for it to come to her realization. I don't believe she was wrong.
Well, let me ask you this. How do you, if you're saying it's not wrong, because I don't, in this particular case, I'm not really looking at a middle ground. So if I say, hey, I give you my word and we agree, and I blatantly, for whatever the reason, don't follow up on my word, and I mislead you, I begin to drag you along, that's wrong, Tone. I give you my word. You come back to me and say, boy, man, that's $50. You know, I got to pay my rent, man. You'll go, yeah, I'm going to give it to you. You come in next year, I'm going to give it to you, knowing that I'm not, right? She knew she wasn't, because when she chose to get that pastor who was in alignment with what her thinking, she was planning. She was walking the deception, and that's wrong.
I don't know if that's deception. I don't know about only because I think deception is too deep. Because deception is an intentional thing. It's something that you do.
That's what I said. It's intentional.
So no, you can't say that's okay.
We got a comment, guys. So
this is the reason why I don't believe this is intentional. Intentional means that I'm trying to do you dirty. So I have an agenda in mind of wronging you. I really believe genuinely that she, in the first place, she didn't want a prenup. I don't believe she wanted it, but I believe she wanted the relationship. So what she did, she told him, like men do all the time, tell women what they want to hear. She told him what he wanted to hear, but the signs were there when she kept saying that I'm going to sign it, but she kept putting it off. She kept putting it off. Now, are you that stupid enough that you going to keep believing that she going to sign it on the last day? Or is she trying to show you or tell you something that she can't say verbally? I just believe that. I believe that she was scared to tell this man verbally that she didn't want to do it, but she had the pastor to do it. I still believe that he was more wrong than she was, because the power was more in his hand than it was in her hands.
I got a comment. I just want to read this comment real quick. Jocelyn says she should have been honest about not wanting to sign the prenup, but a real true friend wouldn't sleep with someone you love and about to marry.
Yeah. Everybody who was involved in that was wrong. The bridesmaids was wrong. He was wrong. I mean, none of them thought about her in their actions. You know what I mean?
I think it's about preference. I think that we can apples, oranges. Like the last person who came on before her, she said that the guy was wrong. So what am I saying? I think it's about what it is you believe in your morals, your moral perspective of what wrong really is. So I guess I can look deeper as the man who has the control, who has the probably millions of dollars, and maybe she don't have it, then I can see actually what she's trying to do, and we're going to clear this before I walk down the aisle. Or I can make an amends to say, okay, I understand that she want to step up. Because listen, we all can say this. Marriages should be about stepping up, meaning you going to something better than what you was before, whether it's to defeat loneliness or money, whatever it is. People marry for different reasons. But
we got another comment, guys. Yeah.
Go ahead and say it.
Okay, Sharon said, I agree with her, and vice versa. Hold on. I would sign one. Some people haven't helped others to acquire a thing. Do you guys understand that? I agree with her, and vice versa. I would sign one. Some people haven't helped others to acquire a thing.
I don't know what that means. Maybe
we're not saying the comments on the thing.
Comment on that. Maybe she could be agreeing with
getting it on different platforms, on different areas that it's going to.
But what I'm saying is this. All I'm saying is I can sign the prenup. She could have signed, if it was a woman, I could sign the prenup if I believe that I could try to figure this thing out in some other way. I just believe like this. Now, I'm going to say this. If I have a friend, my father told me some years ago. He said before he died, this was really a long time. He said, now y'all might feel different about this because what I'm about to say is really cutthroat. He said, never have a friend who can never help you. Because listen to what I'm saying. He said, never have a friend. Don't ever accept a friend if that friend can't help you if ever you ever need it. Don't ever have that person as your friend. Because at the end of the day is when you need help and you can't get it from you, you need to really realize is this person your real friend. So what am I saying about this? Whether we agree to that or not, what am I saying to this? I'm saying is I would never want to be with somebody who will want me to sign a prenup agreement saying that I can't get anything from you if I'm walking away from this relationship and we're splitting. You're telling me you don't want to be able to help me to be able to be better. What if I have your kids? What if I have
prenup? We don't again, a prenup is not all or nothing.
No, I'm not saying that.
And that's what I'm saying. If
you got a child by him,
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is this. I'm saying is the son or the daughter going to look at their father and say, wait a minute, you mean tell me you have all this money and you wouldn't help mama out? You wouldn't give her a couple, you mean to tell me you that stuff?
But we don't know if it's the case. He put in the prenup that upon divorce, because I was reading, this was one of the examples. Upon divorce, I will pay you $400,000 per kid up to the number of years that we are married, or something. I mean, it could. You see what I'm saying? So it wasn't. I agree with your father. You know what I'm saying? In terms of a friend, and it doesn't have to be monetary help, but on the come up point, she can still come up with a prenup. It just depends on how the prenup is structured. So you're a lawyer and y'all hash it out, because if this is what your man or your fiance is saying he needs, it is a non-negotiable. He needs this in order to feel secure in the marriage, and this is the man that you want to then figure out a way to make it happen. Don't play this game of, okay, yep, I'm gonna sign it. I'm gonna sign knowing good and dang on well you're not gonna sign.
Now, is that a capitalist mentality that he have? Is he all about gain and profit more so than he is about love? Can that be a capitalist? Can that be an American, a Western mindset that, listen, in order for us to be married, you got to sign this because I'm not giving you anything that I work for? Can we say that that's more of a capitalist society or a Western mindset to make these? Because think about it. Come on, man. You need to tell me that what I have is going to block. You know what I mean? You mean to tell me I'm not going to marry you because I don't sign this agreement? More so, and I'm going to take what you're saying, Tracy, at face value to say, or Lovely T, to say this at face you. And maybe that's what I said in the first place. Maybe something should be written up even a little bit more where it's agreeable for both parties to say, hey, listen, we're coming into this relationship. There is a cap. Either you won't get it until I know you love me after 5 years or 10 years. Maybe it's 10 years down the line that you would be able to inherit those things that I have because I really know who you are as a person. Or should it be, listen, after 5 years, you get $2 million and we get a divorce. You get what I mean? I get what you're saying. There should be some stipulations in the agreement, but it just sounds so.
But hold on, I keep this. Here's what I can't get away from, and this is the thing: cause and effect. It baffles me when someone who initiates or does something, also they want to determine how I respond to what they do to hurt me or cause harm towards me. You can't control all of that. So my thing is, step one, we sat down, hey, I love you. We sat down and you and I as consenting adults had an agreement. Regardless of what my personal thoughts is about prenuptial agreements, those two had an agreement and they agreed with the lawyer. She gave him her word that I'm going to sign this, right? So now, along the way, because we're going to get to him, along the way, okay, I'm saying I'm going to do it. I continue to reinforce that I'm going to give you my word. The nanny got involved, talked to her. He told the nanny, oh, yes, I'm going to sign it. So she's reinforcing. So here we are on the day. So now you on the day renege. At this point, you cannot govern my response to what you did. You can't tell me how intense my response should be to you reneging and going back on your word of what we agreed to. I didn't dictate it. We sat down and negotiated an understanding.
Well, you did.
And you agreed.
I believe you dictated a little. Listen, this is my thing.
No, you're guessing now because they agreed with a lawyer.
No, listen to what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. I'm talking about the mental aspects of it. What am I saying? I'm saying is this. I understand what you're saying, but it's obviously she didn't feel that way. The pudding, look, the proof is in the pudding that she didn't feel that way. And it must have been some, listen, I believe she didn't want to let out of this relationship. She's seen something that can benefit her. She's seen an upgrade. She's seen a good person, I guess, whatever. But at the end, she let this thing really settle in and didn't know how to tell this man that she couldn't do that. So
it didn't help that she got a pastor that was
against it. Yeah, she got a pastor that was against it.
Well, the pastor was on her side, right?
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. So I believe that's another. There it is again.
Right.
Here it is. She got someone else who spoke how she felt, and how do we know she didn't run his past him? And maybe she wanted him to say, I know we playing the guessing game, but I'm just saying, to me, that makes sense. Because why would this woman want to lose all of this unless she was gambling at the last minute that he was going to have a change of heart? I don't believe that she wanted to go. She didn't want it to go that it went. I believe she really believed that he was going to allow it to bypass. And it didn't work for her. But why would you go cheat? Because technically, I mean, the emotions just don't cut off. You still say you love somebody. You don't just go cheat on them right away. I don't care how much. Go drink. I don't know. Do something else. You gonna go have sex?
You're not my woman no more. It's over. I'm single.
No, but you connected. Then you connected to somebody that I know. So what if she, just like she said that, what if she didn't gang up, get some brothers, and put a bullet in the top of his head? You get what I mean? So look how dangerous that could be. You don't know what kind of guy or kind of guys that she know they're gonna get with old boy.
But again, we're talking about people who don't really sound like they got a lot of emotional maturity in the first place. I'll go back to the pastor's point. If she got a pastor that was on her side and she didn't feel strong enough to have that conversation with, the guy, with her fiance, then why not say, hey, babe, I want us to go talk to this pastor. And, do you mind having a session with this pastor and allowing the pastor to have that conversation? According to his story or his account of what happened, he didn't find out until he was standing at the altar and he was about to walk away. And the pastor was like, wait a minute. I don't think that you guys would have a prenup. So he's finding out in that moment that this pastor thinks the same way that she does. Again, I'm not only am I feeling hurt, I'm feeling betrayed. I'm feeling bamboozled. I'm feeling blindsided. I'm just like, that's what I'm saying. Like the way she went about it, I think just added on top of actually what happened.
So we got a comment, guys. We got a comment from Jocelyn. She said, but why wait till the day of the wedding? He could have ended the relationship before then. What do you
Lovely T, respond to that, Lovely T.
But that will be on his part, not her part. Hold on, listen to what I'm saying. Listen, I totally agree with that. But I believe that was his responsibility, not hers, because the ball is in his court. Let's come to some agreement on this. Do you believe he had more of a say-so in this relationship than she did?
No.
I think there was a power dynamic there with him earning substantially more than her, and being in a place of popularity and all of that. Right. I'm sure that there was a power differential.
That's right. And
but I'll say this though. This is what in terms of this is the thing. We're talking about materialism and superficialism. She held the power. I'm not going to marry someone who wants me to sign a prenuptial agreement. At any time, she had the power to say, no, I don't care how much money you got, all that materialism, I'm not going to do it.
That's easy said and done. That's easy. That's very easy to say than to actually do if you're not in a relationship of a multi-millionaire and you want to come up. All I'm saying is that reading this title, do we believe he was wrong for leaving her at the altar?
No.
I think he was dead wrong.
No.
Listen, this is what I'm saying. Because it didn't have to go this way. I'm looking at what happened. Okay, listen, this is what I'm saying. I'm looking at post-diabetes. Is it pre or post? Pre-diabetes before post. And what am I saying? You have a right to change your health before this diabetes thing fully come into smirk. Because I'm diabetic, and I understand. That's why I do the things that I need to do to keep myself healthy. But what I'm saying is it's all about preparing before this thing happens. So I'm saying as an adult, as a responsible adult, he have the responsibility based on his own income, his own finances to say, hey, listen, I see where this is going. Okay, it's like this. How come I can see that so easily clear to say that I would have stepped up as a man and told her months ago that, listen, we can't be married because you haven't signed the document?
Well, I'll say this, though. This is my thing in response to that. If it were I agree with you, Tone, a long time ago. So me and you agree on that. What I'm saying is, me and your way, that makes it the right way for somebody else. So what I'm saying is this, there's multiple ways. So just like you said, let's even concede part of your argument, what he could have done earlier. What isn't like what you're doing is you're absolving her because guess what? Earlier, she could have just signed it. Or earlier, she could say, I'm not going to sign it. So both parties could have chosen a long time ago to address it, and both parties chose not to do it.
But he go and add to the fire and sleep. He was more wrong. He turned around after what he did. It shows you his character. It shows you the kind of person that he is. The first lady who made a comment, it made it sense when she said God got her out of that relationship because, in my terminology, it never was meant to be. I believe that he was going to be unfaithful to her. I believe that she did the right thing. It was good that this joker left, because he was in his pride to say, hey, listen, I'm the big dog. I got the money. And guess what? If you ain't going to sign, I'm out. He didn't.
You ain't going to bow down to me.
You ain't bow down. But
Lady B, Lady B, Lady B, Lady B, he negotiated with her at the table.
But he asked her every day. He asked her every day, are you going to sign?
Well, why she was, I mean, every day, he was asking her every single day. So
not every day.
It said
I
didn't get that.
I thought you said I thought you said that he was asking her, "Are you gonna sign?"
Right, but not every day.
But often.
How you know that? We don't know that.
I read it. I looked at it when he talked.
Well, what did he say? What did he say? What did he say in terminology?
Over and over in the camera, he said over a period of time, he kept asking her.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, asking her.
Every day. Over and over. Could be every day. It could be every minute. He said over and over. What does over and over mean to you? It don't mean over and over every month, once a month.
I'm almost 99.99% sure he said every few months or every period of time. I'm almost sure.
No, because now think about it.
You got to look at it.
Oh, but look, let me analyze it. If I was him and I got all this money, and if I use a terminology to you that I've been asking her every day, over and over again, that's not going to be once a month. It's going to be making sure that she understands where I'm coming from. So I'm going to make sure.
All of those chances that she had to say, okay, you know what I mean? Like, but again, and I agree with RW3. We have to meet people where they're at. You can say that, Tone, because you have a very strong moral compass. You're very indoctrinated in your faith and right, what's right and wrong. We're talking about two young people. We're talking about people who are not emotionally mature. You know what I'm saying? This is as good as it was gonna get.
But I think he would do more.
That's why. What was the question earlier? Why did they wait to the day of the wedding and not earlier? Because that would have taken maturity. That would have taken a little
immature.
On his part.
Let me tell you about this. Here we go years later, right? Here she is. They have kids. Now, in terms of her maturity, so he brought his kids down to a birthday party.
Yeah.
No matter what state he was in, playing ball, she followed him from state to state, trying to get child support, being mature. And the judge is saying, why you keep following this man around?
Who is this?
It was another baby mama.
No,
it was her.
No, it's not. It was another baby mama. No, it wasn't.
You
sure? Another baby mama. Yeah, I read that.
Because then
another baby mama
into the case because we didn't hear all of that. So it's almost like it's not enough evidence being presented or it's been pushed in at a time. So we got to hear the full story. But going by what we read the first time, because that's added evidence that you can't really add in. We in trial now. We in court. You can't just put that evidence now. So we making a judgment call. So all I'm telling you is this. All I'm saying is, and if you want to go biblical, from the pastor perspective, when a woman or a man leaves his wife, they become one. It don't say that they become one and other than the finance. One is one. So my thing is going on with Tracy's lovely tweet saying is that the biblical perspective from a believer from a non-believer perspective, I would think even more that he would be on his job because he's that type of mindset that he wants to secure his money. That he would make sure if I was that guy, we would have never made it down the aisle because I would feel like you trying to use me. I would feel like you trying to play me, having that black man mentality. I ain't about to even let that go down. I see what you're doing, so this ain't about to happen. So all I'm saying is, And let me say this. Let me add this is my last thing. And be real what I'm about to say. When you meet a man in that type of position, money, well, fame, fortune, whatever, and you come from wherever world you come from. Obviously, if she wanted to sign a prenup, maybe it wasn't no money involved. Maybe she didn't have nothing. But can we say that, and I'll say this, I believe that the man had more of the control over how this thing works out in the end, more so than she did. Do you believe that?
The only way I believe that if it's not because what I don't want to do is generalize every woman. There are some women that are very secure in who they are, and he won't control it no matter how much money he got. So I think it depends on who the woman is. That's what I think. What you think, Lovely T?
The average woman don't believe that. The average woman don't believe that.
I think to answer the question, I don't think he was wrong, and I'm taking a gender neutral kind of a stance because it could have been, even in a vice versa situation. If you have a non-negotiable people in a relationship, that's why it's a non-negotiable, because it is something that you absolutely have to have. If you compromise that non-negotiable, then you will step into a relationship and have resentment. Don't do it. And so, do I think he was wrong? I do not think he was wrong for sticking to what he felt was a non-negotiable.
So was she wrong?
For what?
For not signing it.
For giving her word, not signing it? Absolutely.
Okay, so this is my thing. Let me go on record. I believe that he was right in the sense of him standing on what he believed. In essence, I believe he was wrong because he could have resolved this before this even got
before that day.
Only because he is the one, regardless of whatever people believe, he is the one that has the control over the relationship. I don't care what you believe. Money talks, BS walks. That's how it always been. That's how it's always going to be. His money talks. Now, I believe, again, that, obviously, I think she has some reasons. Again, I still believe that, obviously she could have made a better decision. But as it turns out, I think he was more wrong because he cheated on her or he slept with somebody and he did it too easily. I mean, this was just too easily. He didn't even have to think about it. That tells you where his morals are, because why would you say, no, I ain't trying to do this. We already got into this tight situation. I don't want to hurt her. I already done left her. I done already walked away. Now I'm asleep with his girl. He was so, listen, I thank God she didn't marry a loser like that, because he a loser to me. This Negro is a loser because of how he played the situation. He wasn't cool about it. He wasn't matured about it. And I believe somebody else was speaking in his ear, calling him a punk, saying this old black thing or this man thing. Man, you gonna trick or whatever, not sign this prenup. All she wanted is your money. Then she gonna get it before. I mean, I already know how it's gonna work out. He bought into it, just like every man does. And now he said, yeah, you're right. She ain't do this. She ain't do that. Because obviously she gave him some leeway, because guess what? She didn't force his hand. He didn't force her hand and make her really do it. He waited till the last minute. So I don't know. She was somewhat wrong because she could have been told him, but I think she had a justification for it. I believe she was justified. That's the word I would use. I believe that she was justified in her not doing it. I believe that he just was playing on his own emotions of who he is as a man, and you better sign this because I'm that guy, and if you don't sign it, we ain't getting married. So I don't believe his was emotionally driven. I believe it was based on his own pride, his own emotions. Then you turn around and sleep with this old girl. Shame on him.
All right. All right, guys. So
shame on. It would have been a toxic relationship. I just believe that. I believe it would have been a toxic relationship. She's seen the signs beforehand. I'm glad she's seen it to know who this guy really is. Because if you was gonna walk away, you should have walked away in a more mature in a more adult way, just walk away or say, we can talk about this. I understand what you're going through, but you got to understand what I'm going through. Let's just stop this marriage because I still so-called love you.
So, but why would he? That was done for him to allow to spend all of that money out,
right?
You know, and then walk away. It's
right.
That was a lot of money.
Like I don't disagree with that point in terms of him spending all the money and or whatever. But I agree with you, Tone. I think that was very cold-blooded to sleep with that was, you know, that's you know, I agree, that's after the fact, and I agree. But prior to that, like you told me earlier, Tone, you said, you know, we in the court bringing stuff in, but the thing about it, I keep going back to this without adding anything, because we're assuming the power balance and all that, we add that in, but based on what we've read and what we saw, they both agreed on the terms of the agreement. You're assuming this whole
Well,
power base.
evidently she didn't agree because she's never signed it.
And let me say this though, Lady B, I'm
agree.
glad you said that though. She agreed, but listen to this. He changed her mind, and that's okay. You see what I'm saying? It's okay for her to agree, because she did. That's a fact. She agreed, and she kept saying she's going to sign it, and she kept saying she's going to sign it, but at some point she changed her mind, and she wasn't responsible enough to tell him she changed her mind until the day of the wedding. Goodbye.
So let me ask you this. As women, how would you feel if, not looking at me, not looking at Robert, just
three, none of us.
As a woman, if a man came to you who supposedly loved you, and I'm not gonna make it thick. I'm just going, because I don't want to read into.
Yeah, because
this man sit there and tell you that we're not getting married unless you sign this prenup. How would you feel? How would you feel about that in terms of how perceive you as a person?
Ladies,
I'll be okay, because I'm gonna get a bomb lawyer, and because again, it's not just in the terms of divorce, it's in terms of death. Like Kobe Bryant fell off the face of this earth unexpectedly. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know if they had a prenup situation or not, but I'm just saying, like, to me, I don't see the prenup as an insult. You know, I see it depends on how we are able to come to an agreement. You know, and this is going to be the first of many more agreements in our lifetime that we're going to have to come to compromise on. So if we can't get through this, you know, that's going to make me leery about other decisions. But again, for me as a woman, and, you know, I've never been married. So but I have been proposed to, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm not rich. So I don't have a whole lot, you know what I'm saying? Somebody want to get a prenup with me, you know, I don't know, you want my bill?
Let me ask you this. How do you define love? How do you define what love is? I mean, I guess what I'm saying is, yeah, how do you define love? In terms of, I mean, how do you define that? Because I'm gonna go with it. Even Jesus told the rich man that if you want to follow me, you got to sell all your stuff. The rich man, because he was in love with his possessions, so he walked away from the relationship. That was another relationship. So what I'm saying is, and I don't want to throw biblical, because that would be at a disadvantage. So all I'm saying is that, and I don't want to use my perspective on what I'm looking at this, but all I'm saying is this: if I'm defining love to say I love you, I'm going to show you in my actions that I love you. Now, if it messes me up, then so be it. It messes. Maybe it won't take all my money. Maybe it'll take some of my money, but forgive me for saying that I really trust you and I love you. That I don't have to bring a piece of paper and stick it in front of your face and say, this is all about business. I know we love each other, but here I need you to sign this contract, because at the end of the day, it's about business.
So they're coming into it already with no trust. So that's already a deal breaker. Already, you're coming into a relationship with no trust. So the whole relationship gonna be built. The foundation is built wrong already.
The foundation's already built. So, Tracy, if that man came to you, you mean to tell me, and the only way I can really stay on you because you're not married, right? You're not married. and Womack is the guy. So I'm saying, and I can even put that towards you too, RW3. If this woman says that, listen, I've worked for this for so many years. I'm gonna even put it out there. I got about 20 million in the bank, and I don't know. I'm telling you, I need you to sign this agreement, and it's based on you signing this. Listen, our relationship is based on you signing this agreement. So what you gonna do? Are you gonna walk?
If I was dating Mary J. Blige and she said, "Okay, I love you, we're gonna get married, but in order for us to get married, you need to sign this." I said, "Okay, I'll sign it. I don't want your money, Mary. I love you. Let's do it." That's what I would say.
Because you come in already with nothing, so you probably gonna be like, "Yeah, I mean, I'm coming into this relationship with nothing. So what is it gonna do for me? I mean, whatever."
I guess to me, it's not about the money, but it's about how I perceive how you feel about me. I'm looking at it internally. I'm not looking at it overall. To say is about money, more so is about how you say you love me, but yet you want me to sign something.
So guys, we're gonna have a part 2 on this, guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, guys, listen. Share, like,
yes, share, guys, share.
Do you feel like that you can be in a relationship based on a prenup agreement? I'm just gonna always keep it biblical. If I don't feel that it lines up with my biblical perspective, because at the end of the day, I'm a Messianic. I'm a Messianic at the end of the day. Meaning, what they call Christian. I'm a Messianic. I believe what I say. I believe that you supposed to trust Yah, not your money. So if you trust your money more than you do Yah, then maybe you don't need to be in a relationship. Maybe you just need to go stay outside of a relationship and just do your thing. Because that's what I would do. I wouldn't marry no woman. I would just stay single and I would just run amok. You know what I mean? Do what I do. Or guess what? I would let you in my life, but we just won't get married.
That's right. All right.
I mean, that's just how I feel, because I believe that marriage is an intimacy that has to be taken serious. It's all or nothing. That's what I believe, because that's what you're gambling with. You do it every day. You on a basketball court. You do it every day. You run into a casino and gamble. You do it every day that you do whatever it is you do. And how much you bet? Because I can get angry on this. How much you bet that this joker been into a casino gambling money? How much you bet? Most of them do.
Strip club.
That he done spent money on things that's only materialistic and hold no value after it's been spent. Here you got a wife that holds all type of value, a husband that holds all type of value. You picked it up on a relationship. I don't know. It just
All right, awesome.
You know what I mean?
All right, guys. So
I mean,
that's a great topic.
Yeah. All right. Great topic, guys.
Yeah, it's a great topic.
All right.
Guys, listen, we ain't got to say all right. I mean, it is what it is. We run the podcast. I'm not on about the time or what. So that's my thing. It's just to say that, listen, all we saying is this. That, guys, just look into whatever it is you do, thinking before not thinking. Because maybe this joker is a loser already. He just got some money. You don't need that guy. At the same time, maybe she ain't no good. And she want to take your money. I mean, it's a two-way street. You got to figure that out. But guess what I always say? Time always tells. Don't get married so quick. Just stay engaged with her, and you will see the truth both ways. Whether it's him or her, you're going to see the truth before you even have sex with this person.
All right.
What kind of person they is, because time always tells. You're going to see it. So, guys, shout out to you guys. We appreciate your time. Like and share. And we'll be coming. Listen, before we get off, I would like to say this. Man, I don't know if anybody out here watching or whatever, but I would like to say the podcast is stepping up. We're changing some things. We're going in another direction. We believe that there's going to be some things that can be an effective change, for this podcast. And we're going to be a little bit more now I don't want to use that word. That's not really the right word. We're going to do a lot more activities that get a little fun and relax, which is going to be something called the battleground, or get your money bag on. And what the money bag is, and the reason why I want to talk about this more so because the money bag is going to be, I'm going to be cash apping different people. You can win $100 to $50 to $100. Real cash app.
Yeah, the round table gonna be cash apping. Yeah,
the round table gonna be cash apping, but it's gonna be based on a talent that you have. We're gonna have categories, whether who's the best, who can freestyle the most. You don't even have to freestyle. Maybe you'll have a rap. Who is a good actor, the best actor out of 5? Who's the best singer out of 5? Who's the best model, male model or female model? Who's the best model? And whoever we believe won in that category, they will win to their cash app either $50 or $100, and they're going to be going up against, I'll say, about 4 or 5 people, and we're going to judge. And sooner or later, we're going to have those people in the audience to judge as well, to see who will win. I believe it will be a lot of fun for you. So, guys, stay tuned on that.
Yes.
Listen, get your best rap songs. Get the best sing your songs that you've written or just know. It don't even have to be a song that you wrote. It could be somebody you sang, a parody. You sing it for somebody else. Get your best comedies writing on.
Yes.
Maybe you could be the winner.
That's right.
And it's go far, and other people will pay attention. Maybe somebody might see you and recognize you, and want to sign you or want to bring you on a platform. But we're going to give you that opportunity. It's going to be coming up very soon.
That's right.
Only once a month for that until it grows, and then we'll have it more. I'm believing this
more frequently. Yeah,
than they would do. But then, guys, so we want you to stay tuned to that. That's going to be coming up. I don't know if anybody else got anything to say. Or maybe about the counseling for
we appreciate, Charles and Jocelyn Dixon, Sharon Short, everyone else participated in the podcast. We don't take it for granted. You could have been doing a lot of different things today, but you just had to tune in. Not only tune in to participate, because the show is only as good as the things that you contribute to make the show more robust, and we appreciate you. And share the page, share with everyone else, because we have a lot of interesting things like Tony just mentioned moving forward. So thank you.
Right, thank you, guys.
And maybe you have something that you wanted to talk about, but because of how we're doing the platform, we want it to be based on either relationships or we got this terminology we use in what would you do in this situation. So maybe you have a situation that you would like to know, what will we do in that situation, and we will be happy to address it. We're professionals in that area. We will voice our opinion. That's why we're using the terminology, what would you do? Not the other way around. So what would you do? What would you do? So guys, listen, we love you.
All right, yes. See you guys.
We'll see you next week, every Sunday at 4:30.
Have a lovely day.
Have a lovely day. Peace.
So before